How's it, Aloha gang? Coming up on High Now, we're at Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum's newest exhibit. Find out more about the history between Walt Disney and World War II.
And I'm here in studio learning all about denim and crafts with Pahina paints. Plus, find out about the new Encanto Italia gallery from Inspiration. All that and more right now on High Now Daily. Aloha everyone and welcome to High Now Daily. I'm McKenna Maduli. Happy Monday, hope you all had a great weekend. We have got a jam-packed show for you. We get to know young entrepreneur Leanne Bali from Pahina Paints, and she is so talented. She's here in studio with me. We'll also learn important information on a DHHL kupuna rental subsidy program. And we begin now with our Kainoa Carlson, who's live at the Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum. Hey Kainoa, I am so excited to hear what you're going to share with us today.
Hey, mahalo McKenna, that's right, and we are so excited. We're psyched to be here. This is the newest exhibit at the Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum, and I want to tell you all exactly where it's located. So right behind me, it's in between Hangar 79, which you're going to see there, and then almost kind of the front entrance over here for Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum. But right here in the middle is where you're going to find this. This is the Walt Disney Studios and World War II exhibit. There's a lot of history, a lot of great artifacts in there, and before we take you folks inside, we want to preface this by saying we're going to be really selective with the images that we show in there, because a lot of these images, the different artifacts, haven't been seen before, and we don't want them replicated or duplicated anywhere else. But there is so much fun in there, so you got to come and learn more about it. Come down here and check it out in person. We're going to take you guys inside with us right now. It's our friend Dwayne. Hi, Dwayne. Thank you so much. So as we enter inside the exhibit, we want to introduce you to Rod Bingston, who's going to tell us a little bit about the history and the correlation between Walt Disney and World War II. Hi, Rod.
Hey, good to see you.
Mahalo so much for having us here. It's a great day to be here. We're excited. Now tell us about Walt, the studios, and its connection with World War II.
So everyone knows Walt Disney and amazing stories of how he came up with animation and went into full-length, feature films and things. But early on, just after the original films of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs and that, World War II came along. And sort of anticipating that or any needs that they needed in the military, he actually approached the War Department and many military organizations to find out if they wanted to use his ability to make training films. Mm-hmm. And here we see an example of...
So this is the very first picture that greets you as soon as you walk into the exhibit. And essentially, he shut down the studios the very next day after the Pearl Harbor attack, right?
Yes, he had to. They were creating a anti-aircraft site to protect the Lockheed plant that was next door. So he offered up his employees to build these different animations and training films for the military. And here we see a illustration or a photograph of a naval officer actually discussing how they were going to do a training film that involved aircraft. Mm-hmm.
And I know a big emphasis as well was put on these training films. Come with us, Rob. We want you to tell us a little bit about this other sector for the exhibit. Tell us about this, the training films, and all the work that were done in these as well.
Yes, so the exhibit is divided up between training films and a number of other initiatives that he did as a sort of a patriotic, you know how he brought a lot of vision to all his own work, but he had all kinds of training films and insignias and things he offered. But this particular effort was to have the military identify for him what they needed. So we are putting a lot of emphasis on aviation here. You see in this particular display how...
And then as we work our way down here, what else are we looking at?
We have fighters and how they interact with each other to defend themselves, because we are now encountering Zeros in the Pacific. In this case, we have a plane working with P-38 and learning different ways to attack each other. Mm-hmm. But one of the more important training films that he made was for the Norden bomb site.
And that's going to be right over here, right? Tell us about the Norden bomb
so
site. That's
an interesting story. It was top secret at that time. Here you see a bombardier at the bomb site, and you see it's covered up to protect it, from anybody seeing it as a top secret thing. But it was a very complex computer type of machine that sat in the front of the aircraft. and it required a lot of training, many, many hours. Because it was top secret, Disney created a number of groups in his studio to make different parts of the training film, but they didn't know what each other was doing, and the military put it all together for the final training film.
Wow. Okay, now Rod, there's a lot of information. We just had the grand opening for the exhibit this past weekend, but what is the best way for people to come down here and visit it in person to get tickets and get more information?
Sure, so it's our website, Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum.org, and we are open from now till December 31st, 7 days a week, 10 to 4, and Pahina and military discounts. This is the only time you're going to see this now. The show is being disbanded. Very exciting.
Yeah, this is going to be this is the last stop for the show,
it is.
Correct? So you have to come down here and check it out. Again, you have until December 31st. Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum.org. Going to be the best resource for tickets. That's going to do it for us for now, but coming up a little bit later in the show, we're going to tell you about all the different artifacts and what it took to bring this exhibit to life. But for now, McKenna, we'll send it back to you.
Mahalo, Kainoa. All right, so Pahina Paints was founded by Leanne Bali at just 20 years old, and it was a place for her to express her love for creating, and since then, her small business became a one-stop shop for all things denim and crafty. I'm here now with Leanne Bali and her mama, Kim, for support. How are you guys?
Good. Thank you so much for having us.
Of course, you are a young girl after my own heart because you are a young entrepreneur, and the story of your small business came from a very sweet thing. Tell us all about how you started Pahina Paints.
So Pahina Paints actually started a couple years ago when I was deciding what to get my mom for Christmas, and instead of buying something that she probably has a thousand of, I decided to make something that's one of a kind and unique that she can keep forever. And she's actually wearing the jacket right now.
How beautiful. Look at this. And so this was for Christmas a couple years ago, and just, Mama, you can still model. What is this all about? What did you paint?
So this painting was actually inspired by her because every weekend she loves to go around the island. So I was inspired by our culture, the island vibes, all things Hawaii.
Yeah, and that's so beautiful. And so tell me, when did you begin this again?
So actually I started just last year. We started first with jackets and started painting, and now we eventually grew and evolved into fabric.
Yes, that's amazing.
Denim jackets.
And sustainable, right? You're upcycling these jackets. Now, are you, because I'm a thrifter, and I love the fact that you're upcycling, and tell me just your love and passion for wanting to save the planet.
Yes, I personally, me and my family would actually love to go thrifting, and I felt like it was really important to give these denim jackets a second life and make it pieces that people want to keep forever so they don't end up in landfills.
And that's important. And you know what I love is you have so many different stories. I see you have lots of lei and florals, and also Hai Hawaii. This is awesome. So share about some of these. Girl, these are so beautiful. If you guys can see these at home. So the love for denim, and we'll get to this in just a second too, because we're gonna do something super special. But girlfriend, you have just grown this. So let's walk through the table and show everyone watching at home what you have created.
We kind of are a one-stop shop for all things accessory and denim. We have stickers to bows, claw clips, little keychain wristlets, reversible tote bags.
Yeah, and tell me, you do all of this yourself?
Yes, I actually draw these stickers on my iPad, and I get them produced and made with all things that I'm just inspired by.
Wow, you're inspired. And let's talk about some of these bags too. I want you to show them off to that camera right there.
Oh, yeah.
Look, so this is, and then you have a Lohala print on the top fabric. Now, are you a Fabric Mart girl, or are you want to go and you upcycle fabric as well from thrifting?
Truly, Fabric Mart is my favorite place to be. I could spend hours in there, but I would truly take fabric and turn it into anything. I've had this oversized t-shirt I didn't know what to do with, and I had my mom put it on the back of a denim jacket.
Yeah.
And now I can wear that forever.
Aww. And I just want to ask you, Mama Kim, just being here and supporting your baby girl, it must be so nice to raise just such a strong, beautiful young woman.
It's so exciting to come home every day. I'm like, Leanne, what did you make today? And she's created so many various things, from bows to clips, to tote bags, to hats, to shirts, and everything. Just her saying, "Lei is my love language." It's just she's a truly loving person inside and out. I'm just inspired every day by her.
I am so inspired by the both of you. I love the mother and daughter duo. I'm very close to my mama too. Let's do one more scan here because you have hats, keychains, bags, you name it. Where can everybody find all of these goodies?
You can find us on Instagram at pomahina.paints. that is where you can keep up with where we'll be next at our next pop-up or on the island. And you can check out our website at pahinapaints.squarespace.com.
Oh, I am so proud of you, and something coming up really. So I went into my closet this morning and I found a thrifted jacket, and you are gonna make something a little bit
Special for you.
Special for me, coming up
just for her.
live right here on Hi Now Daily. This is her first interview, by the way. She just killed it. Love you guys. We'll be right back. Good job, sister. Welcome back to Hi Now Daily, continuing our time now with Leanne Bali and her mama Kim Bali from Pahina Paints. And you, if people are just tuning in, tell everybody again your love of what you do for jackets and upcycling.
Oh my gosh, this is truly my favorite part, is putting it all together. I love to give people pieces that no matter how far they travel, they always have a piece of home with them.
Oh, okay, well I feel very lucky and blessed now that you're gonna actually custom design a jacket for me. This is something that I had in my closet, pulled it out this morning, and I would love to see how you would go ahead and design this. Walk us all through your process.
So I first would start out with the mural part. It's like a fun design that I kind of imagine up in my head, and I would normally sew it on in the middle part.
How perfect is that?
And I love to play around with florals and add extra details on here.
Mm-hmm. Now, are these all from different fabrics? Yes, I see, so that you cut them out. So do you spend, are you listening to podcasts while you're cutting out all this fabric, or how are you spending this time?
Oh, yes. I'll have my dog next to me most of the times. I have YouTube pulled up, just chilling, sewing.
Now, you were saying earlier, so you are embroidery mom. You love embroidery. And so did you just take her along on the journey with you?
Oh yeah, she was at every Sunday with me, with all the old ladies, all my old lady friends, and we just enjoy the air condition, the camaraderie, and all the sewing machines just going, So yeah, she's seen it all.
It's really great because we're seeing a lot of young women your age, gosh, the world, they're so much ahead of you in your future, really take on these crafts again. And it's something that, I think during a time you said during the pandemic was when you really jumped into it. Was this a way for you to relieve some of that stress and anxiety from the pandemic?
Yes.
Yeah.
During COVID, my anxiety really spiked, and this was something that was like my quiet time, my peace, and I could just create. I've always had a passion for creating something, and it just came out wonderful.
Yeah, and I think you're encouraging a lot of young people at home, no matter actually what age you are, is that there's things that you can do to just be creative, right? All right, so let's walk through just a few more things on what you would do after we place this all on the jacket.
So after I figure out where I would like to put the florals, where it all matches, I sew it all together, I add my tag on there, and I would get it back to the receiver, and that's their forever jacket that they can have.
Well, you know what? Next week is a pretty special week. I'm headed to San Francisco for the Emmy Awards, and I would love to take this jacket with me to the Emmys next week and rock it there. Is that cool?
Yes, of course.
Oh my gosh, I am so excited. What a lucky lady I am. Tell everyone again where they can find Pahina paints.
You can find us on Instagram at pahina.paints or on our website at pahinapaints.squarespace.com.
Yeah, and Mama, is there anything? I love that you were here for moral support and you guided this beautiful young lady through just her journey. Is there anything you want to add to moms and tutus at home who just are watching?
Yes, I want to say, you know, everyone sew, bust out your sewing machines and be creative. Anyone can be creative, from the little kids to, you know, our age. Yes.
I love it, and they're beautiful, and again, one-of-a-kind pieces. Mahalo so much to the both of you for being here. Good work, Mom.
Thank you.
All right, don't go away. We have so much more of Pahina Daily coming up after this. Good job. I'm excited.
How's it, aloha gang, and welcome back to High Now Daily. We're live over here at the Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum to check out their newest exhibit, which is examining Walt Disney Studios and their involvement in World War II. And right now we're joined by a man who helped bring this exhibit to life. This is Kent Ramsey. Aloha, Kent.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Mahalo for having us here. Now, we've been learning a ton. It's been an exciting day for us to be out here. And something, I love Disney. I grew up there, and being a part of Hawaii Pearl Harbor is something we're educated and taught about at a really young age. So today's been really educational. And for you, you're just an avid Disney fan. Let's start there.
Yeah, it started when I was a little kid. I watched the Walt Disney's Wonderful World of Color, and then I was so interested in Disney that I actually got a job at Walt Disney World as a keelboat skipper during my college years, and I did that, just had the time of my life. And then Disney history has always been a big focus of mine, and World War II history. So this is an intersection of my two main interests as far as this exhibition.
Absolutely. Okay, Kent, what did it take to bring this exhibition to life? There's so many images, there's artifacts. It took you a long time to put all this together.
Yeah, there are about 550 artifacts, and it took me 25 years to collect all of them. And obviously the sources would be the Walt Disney Family Museum, the Walt Disney Company, and private collectors around the country. And that's who I worked with, and that's why it took so long. And the Walt Disney Family Museum produced this with me, and it's a wonderful, wonderful exhibition.
Now,
Great story.
This part of the exhibition we're standing in right now, we want to tell people a little bit about insignias and what all that images meant, and Walt Disney's involvement in that as well.
Yeah, during the war, these are examples as far as insignias, and insignias would go on the uniforms or leather coats and whatnot, and even nose art. But there was a unit, a 5-man unit at Walt Disney Studios, and they produced over 1,200 insignias during the war. And anyone from a private to a general could actually make a request, and Disney would then comply. And some of these are just wonderful, wonderful examples. And we have a story in a few minutes. I'll tell you about a specific insignia that I don't even know how it got made.
So when it comes to insignia, what were people at the time using these for? Where would the insignias go?
It would go like if you have an A2 leather jacket, flight jacket, it would go right there or on this side. Sometimes they'd have a painting on the back. But as I said, a good example over here is where it appeared as nose art on the plane. So it's just absolutely, it could end up almost anywhere.
Okay, now we're standing over here on the wall. Is a story you were telling us a little bit earlier. I want you to tell all of our High Now viewers about this specific insignia.
Sure. In my mind, this is the most perfect, unusual, strange request from the war as far as an insignia. And what this one relates to is there was a bomber navigator named Robert H. Bishop, and he was the navigator for the 44th Bomb Group, and he flew in a B-24, and it was shot down over Kiel, Germany. So he was shot down, and he was sent off to Stalag Luft 3, and if that may sound familiar to some people, and that's because it's the Great Escape, the big story everybody knows about the movie. So anyway, he's at the POW, and he's not in a very good mood. And so he says, I want an insignia too. And so through his girlfriend and the Red Cross, he makes the request. He draws a rudimentary sketch, sends it through, and it got to the Disney studios. And then the next thing you know, Disney, one of his talented artists, Hank Porter, actually designed this one. And that's what we ended up with, a beautiful I Wanted Wings, and you got Donald there behind bars, and he is not happy. And to put the icing on the cake, Walt was so proud of this. He's standing here with the insignia in his hands as far as his pride, as far as his patriotism during the war.
And so the more and more I learn, do you feel like know the extent to which Walt Disney Studios was involved in all this history with World War II? Because as we talked before, this is a story that really has never been told.
No, and that's why I decided to do this. It's such a unique story, and people don't realize that the Walt Disney Studios dedicated over 90% of their production to winning the war during World War II. And he did lots of things as far as the films, entertainment, educational, training and propaganda films, the insignia designs, print media, everything else. And like I said, 90% of their production dedicated to winning the war.
And Kent, this exhibit has traveled in a few other different places, but Hawaii, this is the final stop. This is going to be the last opportunity for people to come and see it in person, correct?
Yeah, it is, and it's sad for me to see that, and it's kind of heartwarming to see that you guys really like this so much and you're giving it so much attention. I really appreciate that.
Kent, thank you so much for the time.
Thank you.
Thank you for bringing this to life for all of us who love history and Disney as well.
My pleasure, my pleasure.
Thank you so much, Kent. And again, for ticket information as well, best resource is going to be Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum.org. We're going to head to break. We have more from High Now coming up in just a bit. There it is.
Aloha everyone and welcome back to Haina Daily. You know, in partnership with the Department of Hawaiian Homelands, the Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement is providing rental subsidies for eligible kupuna on the DHHL waitlist in Hawaii. Here to tell me more is CNHR Care Advocate Mokihana Komoda, affectionately known as Auntie Mokihana. Aloha.
Hi, aloha.
Hey, oi.
Maika iau a oi.
I'm so fabulous and I'm really happy to have you here because this is an important program and you have great information to share with our kupuna. Tell me all about this program.
So mahalo nui loa for being here. I am so grateful to be here and share our program. So in partnership with Department of Hawaiian Homelands, Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement is offering rental subsidies to our eligible kupuna on the Department of Hawaiian Homeland's wait list.
Yeah, and there are many on that wait list that have been for decades. And what I find so unique about this is, you know, as we're living in 2024, I've been thinking a lot about kupuna. When I look at like prices in a store, this really is to help out. I think of my aunties and uncles on fixed income, and this really can help affect those who are on fixed income. Tell me more about that.
Exactly. So our kupuna, you know, kupuna in our culture is very important to us, and a lot of them seem so like they have the short end of the stick as far as economy goes, and their money doesn't go very far because they're on fixed incomes, SSI, Social Security, some on pensions. And when you're looking at rents, $2,000 for 1 and 2 bedrooms, there's no way that they can pay that. So the purpose of this program is because we want them to save money. So if they're called for a homelands lease, they put themselves in a better position. They have some money saved.
Got it.
Yes. So Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement, we don't pay the entire rent. We pay a subsidy. And can I define what the subsidy is?
I would love that. Break it down.
Of course.
Mokihana.
Okay. So for example, if our kupuna is paying $1,500 in rent, and they have a gross household income of $2,000 a month, 30% of their gross income is what they pay towards their rent. So 30% of $2,000 is $600.
Of course.
So if their rent is $1,500, CNHA will pay the subsidy, the $900, up to 12 months.
Wow.
So at the end of the year, that kupuna can save $10,800, which better positions them if they get called for a lease, which is always the goal, right?
Yep, absolutely.
And that's what we want.
Okay.
Yes.
Wow. All right. So let's talk about some again. One of like the requirements.
Okay. So to be eligible, the 2 top requirements is you have to be 62 years old or older. You have to be on the Department of Hawaiian Homelands wait list with a rank number. Okay, so we have that list. It's public. Anybody can go on there and look. Your income has to be under 80% of the AMI, the area median income that's designated for that county. And 30% of your income will go towards your rent. So this is the only downfall. If your rent is less than 30% of your gross income per month, then there's no subsidy for us to pay. But we know there's a whole lot of our kupuna out there that need our help. And so we're trying to reach out to find them because we can look at the wait list, but we don't know if they're 62 years or older. So we're asking for help. I'm trying to reach out, the makekes, the community meetings, the neighborhood board.
Well, Haina Daily is also a great way to share that. So tell everybody where they can learn more information.
Okay, so they can go onto our website, which is Council for Native Hawaiian Advancement, or you can call our office at 808-596-8155. Anybody who picks up that call is qualified to answer your questions. But if you feel more comfortable talking to me because I'm here, just say, can I speak to Auntie Mokihana? And I'll talk to you.
Okay,
you know?
Auntie Mokihana, just drop in all the ike. Thank you. This is important and it is a time in our community, especially here in Hawaii, to take care of our kupuna, and this is really very much appreciated. So mahalo nui, Auntie Mokihana.
Mahalo. Can I say one thing real quick?
Absolutely.
So we know that we live in a digital age. A lot of our kupuna don't live the same way, right? We never had computers growing up. So if you worried or you assume you might not be eligible, we don't want to leave anything to assumption. Call us at the office, ask for me, talk to anyone else. We can schedule you to come in and put your application in.
Really?
We love our kupuna and we're reaching out to them. We just want to find them. So please help us find them.
Thank you. I love our kupuna too. And if you need one ride to CNHA, I will personally take you. Thank you for being here.
Oh yeah, mahalo.
Thank you.
Mahalo.
We have a lot more Haina Daily coming up after this. Mahalo, that is so awesome. I can think of like...
How's it, Aloha gang? Coming up on High Now, we're on the second floor of the showroom here at Inspiration Interiors. We're here for a preview of their Encanto gallery. Can someone hit the lights?
Encanto Italia is a new furniture line that we started carrying a couple years ago, but we only started with a couple frames just to make sure that the customer base here in Hawaii really resonated with it, which they did. So now we have an entire gallery that is committed to Encanto Italia here at Inspiration. Encanto started in 2000. It's a family-owned company, which we as Inspiration are also a family-owned company. We really resonate with that. It's 6 brothers, and they started it in 2000. It's an all-upholstery line, and they are actually located in the heart of the upholstery district in Italy. So everything is top quality, and the leather is all top grains. We have everything from sofas, sectionals, armchairs, to bedroom furniture. And we have motion sofas, we also have stationary sofas, and they come in all price ranges, which is why we absolutely love this company. So they have entry-level pricing all the way up to your premium pricing. And all of the models vary also from traditional all the way up to modern contemporary. So this is actually called the Surf Sofa. We have a little matching armchair, but I just love this vignette specifically because of the nice little pop of color. Always think about also the size of the condos that are being built, right? Because, and then we also have the larger homes that are surrounding the island, but mostly here in Honolulu, we have spaces that are a bit smaller. So we have to really be mindful to the size of the pieces that we bring in.
This is super comfy too. What is the material of it?
So that's like a velour. When we started Inspiration in 1997, we were the first furniture company in Hawaii to actually import full containers from Italy.
What's the most popular, would you say, of mine?
This is the Brignac. This is just classy and easy. I think people just gravitate toward it. It also is motion, so I believe on your left side you'll find some buttons. And the price point is very comfortable for, you know, top grain leather, motion, Italian recliner. And what I love about this model too is that you actually can't really tell that it's a recliner because the footrest just kind of tucks in really nicely.
I didn't even think it was a recliner when we were coming up to it. But this is going to be premium for those big games.
Yes.
House parties.
On June 6th, we're having our launch party for Encanto, and that means our whole new gallery is on display, which is super exciting, and Stage Restaurant will be catering, and there will be complimentary bubbles and poo-poos. We're gonna have a live DJ, so it's gonna be a lot of fun, and all of the new models will be on display. You can come touch it, sit in it, feel it, so it's gonna be really exciting. We are so excited to have the owner, one of the 6 brothers, Mario Sforza from Encanto, here to join us for the launch party. So if you have any questions about their products or the history of the company, it would be great if you could come. Another reason we absolutely love Encanto Italia is because they have a 10-year warranty on all of their models, which is pretty much unheard of in the furniture industry. So if that doesn't give you enough peace of mind, we also have our 120-day peace of mind guarantee here at Inspiration. And it means that if you find the exact same piece of merchandise, either on island or shipped to the island, include shipping, lesser for what we sell it for, and we will refund you the difference. For more information about Encanto or the launch party, visit our website at inspirationinteriors.com or visit either of our showrooms at the Honolulu Design Center or Kapolei Commons and speak with one of our salesmen.
How's it, aloha gang, and welcome back to High Now Daily. We've been live all show today from the Pearl Harbor Aviation Museum at their newest exhibit. Really focuses and it emphasizes the relationship with Walt Disney Studios and World War II. We want to welcome in our next guest, Camille Damon. She's a curatorial assistant over here with the exhibit. How's it?
Good, how is it today?
I'm happy to be here. We've been learning so much, and it's just been a really fun day to be out here, see the exhibit in person, all the great artifacts that are over here. And now we're going to be focusing on the Gremlins. Tell us about that.
Yes, oh my gosh, this is one of the best parts of the exhibit. I love to talk about it. So in 1942, there was a Royal Air Force lieutenant. His name was Roald Dahl. He had created this manuscript called the Gremlins lore. And he ended up submitting this manuscript to his superiors. And this eventually fell into the hands of none other than Walt Disney. And so we can see the two here in this photo. So the Gremlins were kind of an inside joke amongst British aviators. So they were these little mythical creatures. You can kind of see right up here.
Okay.
They were these little mythical creatures that basically wreaked mechanical havoc on aircraft. And so Dahl and Disney took this story. They did create a storyline. They published a book here called The Gremlins.
And that's why we're wearing the white gloves. It's not just because it's a Mickey Mouse party.
Right.
We're handling very important stuff.
And so they created this story. They were working to create a film. Unfortunately, this ended up falling through, but the Gremlins really remained as such popular characters in society, and they continued to appear in war publications and comic books. And what I love the most is the military insignia. And so I want to focus a little bit on the woman Gremlin here, Fifinella. And you can see her, she appears in the book.
Okay.
Yeah, so Fifinella.
Tell us all about Fifinella.
Yes, I'm so excited. Oh my gosh, such a rock star. So at the time, right, as we know, there are thousands of women that are serving their country in the war at this time. But there weren't a lot of insignia requests for the all-female units. And so Disney Studios ended up creating Fifinella for the Women's Flying Training Detachment. Later on, this group joined with another squadron to create the Women's Air Force Service Pilots, the WASPs.
Okay.
Yes, and then in 1943, Fifinella was officially adopted as their mascot, and this signified such a huge change in the traditional role of women.
Okay, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I wanted to show you folks this as well. We talked with Kent Ramsey a little bit earlier. In this puzzle depicting the Gremlins, he actually was telling us as well, Camille, took him over 20 years to find every single piece of this puzzle.
It did, and again, the Gremlins are still to this day such popular characters, and so the time and dedication he took to find these pieces is actually just incredible.
Talk about dedication and commitment. Okay,
Exactly.
I want to keep working our way down this wall. Getting back to Fifinella, the insignia, right? So
Yes.
It starts here and it goes on everything.
Yeah, so Fifinella, right, she's starting to be featured in all kinds of things, decals, comic books, matchbook covers, letterheads, but what I love the most is that she began to be featured in the patches here. So we have this replica A2 flight jacket, and here we see Fifinella on here. And, as Jackie Cochran put it, who was a huge contributor to the formation of the WACs and the WASPs, she said that Fifinella became this symbol for a change in convention. And I really love the way that she put that because, again, she became this cultural icon. And we see my little pin here, and then we have her up here as well.
Right there.
But similar to Rosie the Riveter, just such a cultural icon. And she was able to be that representation for those women that stepped up to the plate and decided to serve their country.
I'm so curious. Now, we just had the grand opening for this exhibit. That was this past weekend. What has it been like for you folks now getting into it? This is now the first day since removed from that, but just seeing, there's been kind of a steady line, a lot of interest in people coming down here to check it out.
So much positive feedback, so much positive interest. We just had such a busy weekend. It's been so fun for the team and I, and honestly the whole museum, to bring something like this here and get to show it to the public.
Yeah, and I think for me personally today, I've just learned so much about how much of just like a patriot Walt Disney truly was, shutting down the studios the next day and all of the efforts he put into the war.
Oh my gosh, just incredible. It's so funny that not a lot of people are familiar with the story.
That was me before today.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
But again, just looking around, you can see how much he did and how much he helped, truly.
Camille, I want you to tell everybody out there, now we know this exhibit is going into the end of the year. How do people get tickets? Come down here, check it out in person.
Yeah, so we are open 7 days a week till December 31st, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. And it is included in your general admission ticket. And so we do have Kama'aina military discount upon admission. And you can go to our website, pearlharboraviationmuseum.org, to purchase your tickets there or also just to learn more.
Awesome, Camille. Thank you so much for the time.
Thank you so much.
And again, we got to tell all of our viewers out there, this is going to be the last opportunity for you folks to see this exhibit from now until the end of the year. We're going to head to break. More on High Now coming up in just a bit.
everyone. Welcome back to Hi Now Daily. Now, this year, Hawaii will host the 13th Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture, otherwise known as FestPac Hawaii, from June 6th to the 16th. And here with all the details of this major celebration of events is Dr. Aaron Sala. Thank you so much for joining me.
Thanks for having us. Thank you.
Yes, of course. We've got to talk story about FestPac Hawaii because this is big. It is big for us to have it here in Hawaii for the very first time. Tell me a little bit about what's going on.
Yeah, so the Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture started in 1972. It's the largest gathering of indigenous Pacific Islanders in the world. I want to say it rivals indigenous gatherings throughout the world. We have about 2,500 delegates from 28 Pacific countries coming to Hawaii.
Wow, that is huge. For us to be hosting this, like I said, for the very first time, because back COVID 2020, we were supposed to host it, right?
Yeah.
But then couldn't. So now it is long overdue, and we got a lot of things planned, right?
Absolutely. So Hawaii was supposed to host in 2020. We took an entire cycle, which is 4 years. We changed the logo, changed the theme, which is now Ho'olula Hui, Regenerating Oceania. Part of that is a response to COVID. And so we're getting ready to host in a couple of months' time. And the goal really is to bring together artists and cultural practitioners, officials, dignitaries, scholars, to talk about the doing of culture, to talk about the place of culture, and then to practice culture. And so, you know, what you're seeing now is footage of previous festivals. So you see, you know, it's really the best of the best in the Pacific coming together to conspire to the greatness of the region as a whole.
Wow, and this is over a course of 10 days. In June.
Yes.
So there's going to be more than like 50 different events that are happening at all different locations. So tell us a little bit about some of the highlights.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have a arrival happening at Kualoa on June 5th, birthplace of Hokulea. So we're bringing canoes back into Kualoa at Hakipu'u. Opening ceremonies on the evening of June 6th. We have an ecumenical service at Stan Sheriff on June 9th. Closing ceremonies on June 16th, and then just a bunch of activity, conferencing and symposia, FestPac performances throughout. Bishop Museum is hosting carvers and tattoo artists, and Hi Sam Capital Modern is hosting a couple of visual arts exhibits. So there's a lot of stuff happening around Honolulu, and you know, we're going to take some of these delegations to outer islands as well.
Very cool. I was trying to, you know, keep it all up in here in my head, but I was like, oh, that's too many things for me to memorize. So if people want to look at a list of events, is there something that you
absolutely. FestPacHawaii.org. We're just updating all of the programming pieces now. We're starting to input which countries are coming with what delegations. So really excited about that.
Wow, that's going to be incredible. And to be hosting for the very first time is so special. I mean, anything else you want to add?
No, we're really thankful for this opportunity. Again, it's a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, certainly 3 or 4 generations before it comes back to Hawaii. So we're really excited to be hosting this time, and it gives us an opportunity to celebrate really the Pacific Islander diasporic population in Hawaii as well.
All right, so go ahead and check out that website for a list of all the events happening. Again, this is going to be in June, so take a look at what's going to be going down here for FestPac Hawaii. But right now, we are getting a sneak peek of what's to come at the 13th Festival of Pacific Arts and Culture. We want to welcome Igalau Mise'a as she performs a Halawin dance for you all today. The stage is all yours.
Iya oyungus, iya oyupum, saliga Mario, ahuha ahe, vidorolung made igung madangaram subsebege gukta sebegang, eleme atangorung made, ma gukta sebege gadamo kerayang ade mora eve al, eleme atangorung made. Madabora eve al meguk me matengarara isengarwa elme atangarungode bidorolungade igung madangaram subsebege gukta sebagang elme atangarungode madagukta sebege gadakmok merayangade mora eve al elme atangarungode uya salika boom happen
back over here in the studio. We're continuing to talk about hurricane preparedness and better keeping our ohana and our homes and businesses safe. We're joined right now by Blair Suzuki, president of Premier Restoration Hawaii. Welcome in, brother.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Mahalo nui for being here. Let's talk about some of the common types of projects that Premier Restoration Hawaii sees, especially when it comes to storm damage.
Yeah, right after storms, we see a lot of calls for water damage that are called in by either the heavy winds or by flooding. And so those are our most frequent type of calls. Those are the ones we tell residents to be most cognizant of because they cause a lot of damage. And the longer you let water damage sit, the more costly it becomes. You can start having issues like mold. The repairs can get a lot more intrusive. So we really want people to be aware of those kind of things post-storm so that we can get in there and help them as soon as possible.
Absolutely. Now, prevention is key. What tips do you have, be it homes, residential, commercial, for businesses as we get ready for hurricane preparedness and the possibilities of the unknown?
Yeah, not just businesses, but residents as well, right? Going up into hurricane season, we really stress preventative maintenance and also proactive repair. So like with the rains we've been having the past couple of weeks, we're having a lot of calls from homeowners noticing water damage spots, right? They see the sagging ceiling drywall, discolored drywall, bulging baseboards, flooring start to warp and things like that. Those are all signs that you already have a problem in your home. Water's already leaking in there. And so now's the time to fix it because you don't want to wait for a major storm. Right? Knock on wood, hopefully we don't get a hurricane, but don't wait till a hurricane to fix those issues. Fix them now, be proactive.
Now, what is the best thing for people to do? Obviously, you mentioned there's discoloration, there's many things that happen, but say a person happens into the house, they look, there's damage. Like, what is step one now in the fixing of the process?
Yeah, step one, we always tell people we want to find the source of what's causing the water intrusion, right? If it's a leak, we've got to cut back the drywall. We've got to go look in there. If it's a pipe that's broken, you got to call a plumber, unfortunately, first, get it fixed. But then after that, we want to get in there as soon as possible and start the drying process. Oftentimes, if they call us early enough, we don't have to make a lot of big cuts. We can actually dry the floor or the walls in place, which saves the homeowners a lot of money.
Now, Blair, what is the best resource to utilize? Schedule a consultation for you folks at Premier Restoration Hawaii. Come out to them and kind of assess. What's the best way to do that?
Well, if they tell them that Kainoa sent them, they'll get a free estimate fee.
Hey, how about that?
But
just drop my name, you guys. Blair said it's okay. Okay, go ahead.
No, but the best way to reach us is by our 24/7 number, 808-873-8886, or check out our website, www.premhigh.com.
Fantastic, Blair. Real quick before I let you go, you mentioned earlier preventative measures. What is one thing you want homeowners to know as we look ahead to Hurricane Preparedness Week and just everything moving forward?
Yeah, do a lap around your house. Like Kapili Roofing said, you want to check everything, all the sources that water could get in, that projectiles could start flying, trees that could come down and knock windows in, all that kind of stuff. Look at it now, because hurricane season, waiting till the storm comes, it's too late.
Absolutely, Blair. Mahalo nui for being here.
Thanks, Kainoa.
Stay educated, stay safe. We're going to have all this up at HiNowDaily.com. We're going to head to break. We'll be right back. Mahalo, brother.
Mahalo nui for joining us today, everyone. Coming up tomorrow, join us as we feature not one, but 2 food trucks live right outside of our studio. Plus, we learn more about how you can help your brain deal with pain. You guys, we have all of this great stuff up on HiNowDaily.com. And if you guys haven't followed yet, go to Instagram and follow us at HiNowDaily. Have a beautiful afternoon, and we'll see you guys tomorrow. Aloha.